My intention for this call is to, as usual, get on sync with comms and to check the famous 64 issue and see how we can organize it better. And my distraction, it's none. I will pass it on to Chu.
Hello, everybody. Intentions for today, sync. Also, I think I'm getting better at GitHub, getting it. So I'd like to see how that affects my performance this week. And distractions, no distractions today. I'll pass it to Tam.
So my intentions are to see how we're doing, to see how I can help. And I do have a distraction today. One of my children need help with her homework. We're doing homeschooling this week because the schools in France are closed. So I'm going to skip SoftGov and spend an hour doing homework with her in French. So that's just my distraction to figure out how I can squeeze this into my evening. And I will pass to Juan Carlos.
Thanks, Tam. Well, yeah, my intention is to keep up and follow the work that Coms is doing and see with what I can help. And I don't have any distractions. And I will pass to Jake.
Yeah, I'm just here to help, and I have absolutely no distractions. How about you, Nate?
My intentions are to answer any questions about the C&D process, help with the communications working group, getting our agenda through, and my distractions are I am currently in a beautiful meadow doing fieldwork for the USGS. So if I cut out for any reason, I'm sorry, I'll get right back on.
I'll take it. My intention is to propose some request for memes, and which, if you're watching GitHub, you may have already seen. And besides that, just here to be doing the like, oh hey, I have information stuff that I've done a poor job at communicating to everyone. I'm really sorry about that. And my intention is, my distractions are I'm still doing a lot of GitHub work on the Hatch dashboard during this call. And I'm going to lead SoftGov for fun. So I have to do both of those during the call. And I will pass it to Marco.
Thank you. My intentions, the famous issue, just discussed that, issue 64, about the DAO graphics flow thing. Maybe just quickly do a check-in or updates on other issues that are open currently in this sprint. And hold on, let me see. And also, MetaVerde submitted something I want to discuss with you, example of diagram, and we just want to go through that. And I also see Aiden here on our call, so I would also like to get an introduction from Aiden. And as far as distractions, I have a huge amount of work to do, and that's my only distraction for now. And I'll pass it over. I pass it over to Mitch.
Hello, everyone. No distractions right now. I'd like to, as Nate mentioned, show off the C&D process that he's been working hard on and hopefully show everyone how it works, and then we can start using it and get some feedback on the document itself. Apart from that, nothing else. Tam, let me know if you need help with French. Can help you out with that. I'll pass it on to Zepti.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, my intention for the call is, think with you guys, maybe something I can support, I'd be super happy to do. And I really want to start to think on those memes. I just read the issue and it looks fun. The topic looks very fun. And no distractions. Pass it to Rafael Calcada.
Hello, everyone.
My distraction right now is that I'm having lunch, but apart from that, all good. My intentions is to get to know both the governance and get accustomed to it. It's my first meeting here. I've been taking part in the Graviton and like looking at the soft governance. So those are my motivations around here, just like getting used to it, get it to know, and see what I can help. I will pass it to Septimus.
Oh, he's gone already yet. Well,
Okay.
I think Aiden is last to go. So Aiden,
Hey, I can go. Yeah, this is my first time joining. I work with Sean YGG at LTF, and he just kind of recommended me come sit in and join into some of these. And my main distraction today is though I'm quite sick, and I haven't really been able to hold any food down for a couple of days. So I'm just kind of sitting in on this one. But I'd like to get more involved. If there's anything that I can share on Twitter, yeah. But I'm trying to eat some rice right now.
Mahlzeit. No, thanks a lot for the intro. Thanks for joining our call. Just for the context, Aiden joined us on this call as well after we tweeted. The Ivy actually tweeted that we're looking for more people to join us with the comms as a digital specialist, communication specialist. So Aiden may be able to help us. Aiden, feel free to be fly on the wall on this call first, and then after we discuss some stuff, you may want to check out our ZenHub board, or just reach out to me for anything that you think you could contribute or help us along. Yeah. All right. So yeah, shall we just start with the famous issue 64? Eduardo and I had just a brief chat before this call, before you guys joined, and I also left a comment after the call that I had with Tamara this morning, and that was that I needed to get more clarity what this issue was about. And this issue is about creating a beautiful graphic, infographic flow, whatever, of the Hatch DAO. How does the Hatch onboarding works? And well, actually, Tam, after you demoed me the new version that you created and are you already using, I think that one serves the purpose. And the issue is about actually beautifying this version of the flow of the diagram. And also, my last question then is, do we need that since Hatch is already there? And what is the value of beautifying this infographic?
So can I just jump in quickly for when Jeff did these iterations, he said they weren't done, and over this weekend, I really needed something for this Hatch deck because I had a lot of text, Hatch phase 1 and 2, voting tokens. So I had some time on Sunday, and I started iterating on what Jeff started with to do. Really what it started with was like for each phase, who is doing what, why, and how. And it was sort of like just so I can start to build a picture of what that might look like. So when I'm doing these Hatch outreach, I can explain to everybody. I can explain in visual terms, the flow of the tokens, the voting. So the tokens, the voting, and the phases, and who is doing what, why, and how. So it's here. It's not the prettiest. So maybe the question is it serves my purpose because I need to be able to walk potential hatchers through our flow in a nice visual way. And then what we do with it, I guess that is up for question. If somebody wants to take it now and make it more attractive.
I think that's an amazing Miro board. I love the top description part, so it doesn't bring confusion. Just responding to Marco's question, the idea of this was to also when we post on Medium or when we do all this content, or for just someone to send them something visually that it could be understood easily, and to have that visual that should be holding the hand of the text if there is a text that introduces the Hatch in a way. So it was more of a multi-purpose visualization, just to have it in a way that it's easy to understand. that could be used by many people in different tones, in different senses, in different aspects, and different platforms. So it was more of this is and also to find common ground in which terms are used and update the Jeff's diagrams if it needed to be updated. Just to have the same like phase one free hatch, phase two, is to have a common diagram that we could all use.
Yeah, I would love to see this go from the Miro board. It's like a perfect, it's a really well done product description, or like, I feel like a scaffolding. And now it would be nice to hand it to a professional. It doesn't have to be you, Marco. And you're overwhelmed. And
No worries, no worries.
It's really well described. So, but I would love to make it published, something that we can publish. And I feel like this could be an anchoring like infographic. It's like the one thing everyone looks at and doesn't have to look further. I don't know, Chewy, we did that with the Common Swarm. If you with who was his name? It wasn't Eiffel, but it was like EF something. Ephra. Yeah. So I mean, he could take it on, or Manu, if you have someone that's at your fingertips that loves doing infographics, they could take it on. But I think we need to assign someone and make this happen.
Can you provide an example of the Common Swarm?
Chewy, you can grab that maybe.
Yeah, let me. I'll post it in the comms channel.
Okay, and okay. Did anyone else have a question? Sorry.
Well, Manu, were you going to say something, Manu?
No, but I can say that I can definitely relay this to the designers within my team, and we can embellish this even more, or make it appropriate for the audience that we want to target. So yeah, and I mean, I already have enough tasks. Again, this would be I would delegate it to someone within my team, and yeah. So I can take this on.
Anyone else wanted to say something? Okay.
I guess just really quick on this one, Manu. If you were delegated to your team, how quickly do you think it could come out, and then or maybe I can talk outside this meeting with you about it, and Chewy, we can just like have a quick debate.
Yeah, this like depends on the priority that I assign it. So if we need it for this sprint, which I believe we do, I can just make it important and urgent, and we'll get it done in time.
Okay,
very promising. Go ahead, Marcos.
Just wanted to ask a question. So, when do we need this? And when do we need this? That's the first question. Will it still be relevant like after the hatch?
It will be relevant for other communities, maybe to like tweak it. It'd be nice if it were a template that was open source that people could fork and then add their community names, but it's not relevant after the hatch. And as far as timing, ASAP, it's something that TAM is already using, and we would use with every hatcher. So it's really for the hatchers.
For hatchers, and also for proposals, also to understand the process. That's why it's so relevant, because we are onboarding people, and most the thing we are missing out, thanks to time for the deck, but and we are missing this kind of single piece of easy understandable content. But that's it. Like it's a pre-hatch kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say, look, for the purposes of hatch outreach, like I used it with Barnaby this morning, who's a pretty hardcore ETH research scientist at the Ethereum Foundation group. So like, I think it's super important to have. Yes, let's definitely rush it, but it works for what I'm using it for right now, I guess is what I'd say. Like if it's better, even better. But like I wouldn't say that we like the urgency is with Hatch Outreach. I would say it's with like being able to publish this.
That was my main question, and that's why I'm also like kind of questioning the urgency and the value of this beautiful kind of infographic diagram of the hatch, like after the hatch, right? So like, you know, if there are like plus points for just having a thing that can be like what forked by other communities and like, oh, this is like super relevant and we must do that. Okay. But I'm not seeing it like that. This is like the top priority for this issue. If it's like if Tam is already using her new version, which I think is great and really is super clear, we could deprioritize this and just move it to the product backlog until we free up more time to do this.
I feel like the most common question is what is going on with the hatch, and if we had a high quality like infographic that would just explain it to everyone and we could just point at it, they wouldn't have that question anymore, and we'd discover the other problems people are running into. So for me, it's a higher priority, not because like, oh well, we have Tam's thing, but like you know, do we? As I love Tam's thing, and I will also use it for every Hatcher onboarding, but I don't know if I would screenshot it and tweet it with no explanation and just say, "Hey, community, answer question."
Yeah, I agree with Griff. This can definitely just be much more refined, actually, and more of a standalone piece. And I think the question is also like, there are people who's very, very skilled at developing these infographics, and if somebody can do that, like turn it around in a few days, then it's probably worth us having that infographic quickly.
I would just jump on with Tam real quick too, because when Hatcher Outreach, like most of the stuff in this graphic, and I haven't seen this new one, I got to say out of my head. And it's, if there was something that I could share with somebody right away, then it brings a whole new process into onboarding them. Like we could just go through it in a screen together or something. It would really simplify a lot of things, and we could get to the core of other stuff faster.
Yeah, that's what I made it for.
We wouldn't need an hour per se. You know what I mean? It would really help.
Yeah, no, it came out of a need to not have a lot of text and a lot of conversation, but to be able to visually walk somebody through the two phases of the hatch. There's like cats and hatching ducklings in it. Like it can definitely be more professional.
That's okay. That's fine.
I don't see why that's a bad thing. I think that's a feature.
All right. Got it. You convinced me. We need this. Okay, cool. Okay, Manu. So you said you could probably delegate this to someone. Hold on a second. Let me see.
And then Tam, would you want to maintain product ownership over the final product?
Yes, with pleasure.
Cool. And you were still thinking with the sentence.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's not priority right now, but I did find the disco video. If we could have something close to that when we actually have the ABC and we open this up, we had a quick video to throw on Twitter. Hey, we launched, our curve's going. Come support these regenerative projects and proposals. And we have this quick video for people. Then we could bring in the public a lot easier too when it's that time. This is down the road, but it's something to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this one should be done by, I guess, next week, Tuesday? No, Wednesday. by the end of the sprint, right? So we have about a week for this. So let's say so.
Yeah, so definitely get this to me so that I can, start working on it ASAP.
Would you? Okay, so let's say it should be an infographic, something like, I guess, like a huge height and like just going through that visually in a nice flow, and also adhering to our TEC brand style guides and whatever we have currently.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to share you the brand assets repo where you can grab the files, some of the Figma files that I already shared. If you need them, just ping me again. But I think everything is there in the repo already linked. Tam, you will be the product owner or the reviewer of that issue. And
Got
that's
Tam just shared with me.
all right. Okay. All right. So we got this one cleared.
Thank you.
Cool. Next on the agenda, do we have Meta Verde on the call? No, we don't. Let me just share something with you. And I'm not sure what she meant by this, but hold on a second. So there's a link in the agenda doc where she Meta Verde shared something that someone is working on something similar for the TEC Commons working groups. So like I have no further information other than that message from the comms. Does anyone else here on the call knows more about this? Oh, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong tab. This one. And the message was that that T. Wells built a beautiful interactive infographic for One Hive swarms and is building one for working groups. So I have no information about anyone building something similar for the working groups. This is like the first time I'm hearing it. So I don't think there's even an issue for that. So I'm just asking here you on the call if anyone has more information. Nope. All right.
Yeah, I think we'll have to get some more context from Meta Verde.
Yeah, she's not. She said she's going to be on the call, but she's not. So, okay, I'm going to ping her and see what's going on with this one. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe we just want to go quickly through the board. Just quick updates. Chewy, you took 2 issues to find the parts in Griff Talks for the tweets. Any progress on that, or any things that is blocking you, or needs any help with that?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just behind with that. I downloaded the videos. I still have to trim it, but sorry, I've been, but like I had an overwhelming weekend, but it's gonna be ready for it.
No rush. No rush. I was just asking. And then back to you, Manu. You said you were still working on the onboarding video, the Y one. I believe all the interviews are done and have been handed over to you by Jess. So do you have currently any blockers or need help with something? Or can you tell us when we could potentially like have a first version draft to see? Ideally this week. To have at least some more time to tweak it, maybe before the sprint ends.
Yes. I can have a video draft by the end of the week. That would be weekend because we're workaholics around here, and we can refine it, tune it, and improve it so that we can release it by the end of the sprint. mean, there's a lot of content, and you guys are quotable, so it's gonna be hard to make it fit in a 2-minute video. If there be, I have no blockers except ideologically in terms of, do we want to focus on, because it's 2 minutes and there's like, I don't know, I'd say like 30 minutes of like usable content from 15, 16 interviews. Probably less. So do we focus on do we want to focus on, my notes here. We want to focus on like how the tech is working around incentive alignment, how it's addressing current problems, on the culture build and the community, and how that's so pioneering in terms of, you know, developing a culture and emphasizing that aspect, not just the development part, you know, or like, what are we, just some more just brainstorming on how do I decide on which things to put into the 2 videos and which things to leave out. A lot of good content is going to be left out, probably used for later, but I want to make it the best that it can be and economic in terms of the best that we can get out of 2 videos, so 2 minutes of video.
Yeah, got it. My kind of concern was, or maybe just a question to you, like, did you start off with a storyboard, or are you just making that as like, you know, have this own creative flow and then figuring out what to cut out, how to structure the story and make it fit like in those 2 minutes? Or have you been provided with some kind of guidance before that? Because like, I just want to make sure that like we have kind of this story, like the flow right, and then kind of you know, the end result, the video in 2 minutes will actually talk about all that stuff that we wanted to say to the world.
Yeah, the way I approached it is first like the introductions in the different languages. Then we go into sort of like the problems. There's some good parts of people talking about how we're doing things wrong, like Jake talking about how we're doing like socioeconomically, how we're not focusing on the intangibles and on qualitative, but only on quantitative and just accruing ownership. And from that problem, go into more what the tech is doing, why is it important, and then after that, the community part, which everyone has only great things to say about the community, obviously. And that's the gist I got from you know, going through all the interviews. And yeah, I'll still relate to the team, and it'll get improved as more people put in the work through the value chain. But that's the storyline that I have right now. It just makes sense.
Okay. So intros, problems, and then solutions that we're offering, and basically invitation for everyone to join us in a way.
Yeah. Intro, problem, solution, and community would be sort of like the. Yeah.
I want to jump on here on one sec. And yeah, if you need some support, Manu, I have some experience with Premiere and After Effects, and I don't have like the creative thing, but if you tell me like something like maybe I need support in and doing this and this, I can just do it. Yeah, just saying, if you need some support, I'm here.
Thank you, Septi. Gracias.
Okay, just taking a note on that.
And just a quick question, is it possible to make 2 versions, a longer one and a shorter one? Or is that kind of a stupid idea?
No, I'm an anomaly. So I can make 2 versions.
It's actually not a stupid idea, and I think that's kind of the approach that I used to do basically when I did some videos. And either I do like the short version first and then the longer, or I do the longer and then cut out the shorter version. So basically, like, we can have like a 3-4 minutes something, or even like 5 minutes, it doesn't matter, and then like have just a minute and a half, like a teaser kind of version, It's like, that someone like has 1.5 minutes to watch wherever they are, right? If you share it on Twitter or something else. So, and then like if they want to watch the longer version, they can watch it later or something. I don't know.
I was thinking of actually, Griff, having two versions, because yeah, sure, 1-2 minutes for people who are just curious and want to see if they want to become more involved, and a longer one for people who, like, after that, people who actually decide that they want to commit to this and take on some tasks, maybe 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, as sort of like the DAO onboarding. Because when people come in, like, it's so complex. It's intricate. I wouldn't say complex, just a lot of moving parts. And how do we standardize a process for people to just come in and then here's a 30-minute video, and then after the 30-minute video, it's like Neo in the Matrix, like, I know tokenogiri comments, that kind of thing. Like that's what I think this video can do, or this collection of videos. Everyone talks about it's so holistic what everyone brings in on board, and it's going to be useful for bringing people in and for actual like educating or educating the people that are already in who want to commit.
Yeah, for onboarding and process in general, and the content and the resources for people coming in, I believe we're going to have more clarity on that, and we're going to establish that process and have more information for them. I believe like that this, like the onboarding why community or video, like shouldn't should like be introductory and should invite people to join, and then from there we take them through the onboarding process or something like that. I believe like the shorter version should be like super teaser, I want to learn more about this, and then like the longer version, that whether it's like 5-10 minutes or 15 minutes, sort of like a short documentary of like the TEC kind of thing, right? And like, I want to get involved in this, and then we take them in through our onboarding journey.
Yeah, that's just what it lent itself to because of all the great interviews, people, and the things they said.
Yeah. All right. All right. Looks really super excited and looking forward to see like the first version, whatever we're going to be sending. And as I said, the sooner the better, because videos, it just takes time to edit, to change, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like better to like have even something draft, ugly, unfinished, whatever, just to get a rough idea that we could like confirm and then iterate on that further and complete it within this sprint.
By this weekend. Videos.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else on my agenda right now. If anyone wants to add something quickly, or wants to discuss something or talk about.
Really quick, there are some memes that we're going to use memes as error messages in the
memes. Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
It's okay. In the Hatch design dashboard, I tagged some of you in it just for fun. I just like randomly tagged some people that have made memes and gone to the meme parties, or I think that would like making memes. Basically, there's 3 memes that we're going to use as error messages. One is the cultural build rate is too damn high. You guys know that meme. The other one is this impact hour rate, which is near and dear to all of our hearts, is too low. What happens if someone's like, oh yeah, the impact hour rate, $1? That's kind of a dick move. Yeah. Manu?
Yeah, regarding that, like, how do we, the people that quantify the praise into impact hours, like, how wouldn't they have to be like wouldn't they have to know a lot of different things to know, okay, how long did it take this guy with the development of this? How long did this take? How long did it take for the infographic? How long for this? And how do they? It's it's pretty hard to assess. I'm just curious as to how do they go on about doing that.
I'm not gonna lie. You don't. I don't know if you want to know how the sausage is made, man. I don't know. It's not something. It's not a pretty quantifying qualitative things like this. It's just not. It's not pretty. So,
Okay.
But it is actually really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, don't listen to Eduardo. No, there's not. I know Eduardo's method. Yeah, that's fun. Trust me. I've done it for like 3 months now. It's a process.
Yeah, heroes. It's heroes' work. It's truly heroes' work, and the stewards that do it are heroes, and it's not fun, but you know it has to be done, and the sausage at the end is delicious. So we can leave it at that. But if you do, but we actually have a praise. There's a praise case study coming out this week that should elucidate a little bit. There's also a forum post. But basically, it's we give a score to every praise, and then we do at the end we do some jostling to make sure that the praise is relatively accurate. And only stewards are allowed to quantify praise. People who have like a good overview of what's happening. But we miss people, and it's not perfect. It's a subjective thing.
Right.
That being said, it's quick and dirty, and hopefully will be better for other future commons. But everyone does have impact hours. And the other thing is, if someone really wanted to, they could complain and be like, "Oh, dude, I did a lot of stuff. Like my impact hours are totally short," and we would adjust it for next time. So we're always open to feedback there. That being said, 2 memes. First meme, too damn high, already done. Second meme, totally open canvas. The main idea is that impact hour rate, let's reward the people who are working, and not just give all the tokens to the people who put money in. So there's lots of fuel there. And then the third meme is actually if they really are not trying to parameterize with any kind of coherent like idea and they get both errors, we need another meme that basically is like, dude, are you even trying? Like, what's wrong with you? This is the worst thing ever. Are you trying to be bad? Like, what are you doing here? So that's the third meme, is if they get both errors. It's in the Ending the Crypto Technocracy Zen Hub board, and I'll put a link to that to the issues in the comms channel. Thank you.
Griff, just a question. You mentioned that you tagged a bunch of people in the Hatch dashboard channel. Where's that channel? I couldn't find it. Sorry.
I think he tagged us in the GitHub issue.
So I'm looking for the.
I could only tag 10 people, so I wasn't able to tag everyone who might want to make them. But the idea is that you guys make memes, add it. You could put them in the memes channel, or you could put them in the but you have to put them in the GitHub issue, and then Vitor gets to choose. He is our benevolent dictator of the memes.
All right. Memes. Got it. Okay. That's all from our agenda. I have nothing else. We have 15 more minutes, a little bit more. Griff, you want to say something else or add? No, that's all.
Nate, are you still there?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. There he is. Out in the field.
Sorry about
that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to cover it real quick, Mitch. If anybody's interested, we kind of refined the C&D process to make it a little bit more simpler and to explore kind of the larger implications that are underneath it. So I don't know, Mitch, are you interested in doing that?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more that could be said on Nate's part, but I'll show you guys the document and I'll answer some questions and show you guys the Zen Hub board that we all made and see what everyone thinks of it. I'll show you all my screen here if I can find it. Okay. Is this the right document? Expanding administrative capacity. Did you change it?
Yeah, I did. That was my fault. It's the one I sent you in the separate link.
Okay. All right.
I need to.
Well, let's have a look at this board here. Sorry, guys. Last minute changes. Where's the document, Nate?
Yeah, it should be. I sent it to you in your Discord.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you guys have seen the new ZenHub board that we made for distributing content. I'll put the link right now into the comms channel. And so we're hoping just to like make a little bit more sense of like the flow of when we're distributing content. And so by that, like when people have things that they want to be written, or like there's external content coming in, that it could come into this board, and that we would be able to assign teams and roles of people to do the content and the copy editing, and then be able to move it across in a pipeline that makes sense, and then eventually hand it off to distribution, which would be another team and then another team that would publish it. Basically, because we were running into the issue of like Ivy was trying to publish things and she wasn't really sure like where to go to get stuff fixed or where to get approval for stuff. So we were hoping to like make a process here that would make sense. Am I missing anything here, Nate? I think you were working pretty hard on this last week.
Yeah, just the introduction of roles that we have. So the idea is to have 3 different teams with, and each team has a group of members that hold a certain role, and each role is responsible for one part of the C&D process. So the idea is to have multiple people within a team who are all capable of serving that role or serving that function. And as work comes through that pipeline, they can choose to work on it and pass it through and kind of incorporate all of the checks and balances that are required to make sure that we have an efficient product and nobody gets overburdened by a single, I have to write this, I have to make sure it gets edited, I have to make sure it gets published, I have to make sure all these other things. And so right now we have a lot of people doing a lot of tasks within this process, and I think it should be simplified, and the way to do that is to introduce different types of roles where it's just kind of capabilities that you have and like a team that you have. And so by creating those roles, we allow simplification of the tasks that you have to do within the GitHub issue. And the easy way to signal anybody for those roles. So if you need something edited, whether it's at the, if it's a tweet or if it's a piece of content that you're writing, you can signal to that team within GitHub or within the ZenHub, and it will signal to them and send notifications saying that it's ready for editing or ready for publication. And each team will have their own publication checklist, editing checklist, and all the resources that they have to manage. And this will allow those teams to kind of develop their own rules and processes. And kind of a framework for see how it works. So
yeah,
I know this is kind of, we've had discussions about this roles or this kind of titles and stuff. So I don't know if it conflicts with what some of the other stewards were thinking, but I do think it merits more discussion.
Yeah, so I found the part here that I wanted to share. That's kind of maybe the more concrete stuff. So what we're proposing for this board are these 4 different roles here. The names are going to change, so don't look at project manager and freak out. But basically, having like a housekeeping team for the board, having content editors that we can tag to like do the editing on the content, having publishers that we can tag to publish it, and then further down the line, distributors that we can tag to do the distribution. So this is kind of the idea we're having. We'd like to get more feedback. We'd like to get more people involved in the teams. I posted the document in the communications channel. So, I mean, it's a couple pages. I'm not sure we have time to go through the whole thing, but please I would like everyone to have a look at it and like let me know what you think of this process.
I think I did not read the whole document. Did this came out of your call from on Monday? This Monday?
Yes.
More information. Yeah, I wasn't on a call. Sorry, I was off. But like I think like this is great way to scale the whole process, and eventually we're gonna get there. But I think for starters, we should definitely just figure out one person for each one of these roles or whatever. Just for starters, and start using this process and see how it goes. And then also see how we can. I'm not sure, like the teams that you mentioned here. Well, last time we discussed that we're going to create those teams within GitHub, like the working group teams, and then whether a content needs a reviewing from whatever softgov or params or transparency, because that's kind of a category this content piece has been produced for. We're just gonna like Ed mentioned the whole group, and then whoever has time will jump in and review that and take it from there. How does that differ from like these new groups that you created?
These are the same things you're talking about, Marco.
These are the same things.
Thing. Okay. Same thing. Nothing's changed. We just like fleshed it out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And just going back to what you're saying, like I think the main purpose here is just to get people to start using it. And like we've got some basic framework here, and like as people start using this to propose stuff that they want written, like for example, forum posts, like if Jake, you need forum posts written for disputable voting or disputable conviction, like this is where this stuff can go and can be picked up and then pushed through the process.
Yeah.
So
and
go ahead.
Yeah, I believe for starters, I wouldn't expect a lot of I wouldn't expect from everyone to immediately know what they need to do when they post an issue or new request, to tag this person, to do that or whatever. So I think like there should be one person, for example, we're kind of figuring out this process. For example, you, Mitch, will take this issue, tag the people who needs to be reviewed, tag the people who needs to do the editing, move the issue to the second column or whatever in the process in the next step. You're kind of going to need to guide that throughout this process for that person. I don't think we can expect from everybody to just immediately know everything what they need to do, right?
Right. So are you suggesting for the beginning that we have more of a tutorial on how to use it?
No, I'm suggesting that we should just start using it and have like a one, 2-person people to kind of guide this process.
Yeah.
And like show by example how it works.
Exactly.
Until it proves that this process actually works. And it will be proven that it works when it gets adopted by everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like that's a thing. Like just start throwing stuff in there. Like I need this thing written, and like put in ideas and requests. Make a new issue for it. We're gonna have templates for this stuff coming out that'll help you kind of like figure out what needs to be in the issue. And then with this C&D coordinator, that's going to be kind of what you're saying, Marco.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that responsibility and then like go through the board and make sure things move.
That's great. And what I think also one thing, what currently to me is kind of blurry right now, is the actual distribution, where it goes, where it's published, who are the partners, who we need to ping, who we need to, in which format we need to send it to someone, in which format we need to prepare all this, what kind of other, does it need supporting graphics, images, for example? Does it need to, all these kind of requirements? I think for the actual distribution, it's unknown to me. Like I don't know everything, and I think this one needs to be kind of transparent and laid out perfectly and clearly for everyone. Previously, this was done by Jess, and like she knew everything. And it was like super easy for her, but now we need to take over, right? And it should be super easy for us, and it should be super clear and super easy for anyone who just bumps in there and wants to help us with distribution. They should like know immediately how it works and where should they continue.
So I just want to clarify on that topic, because everything you just said is that, I mean, it is a lot of stuff that needs to be done. You know,
Yeah.
you're talking about, you know, distribution and stuff, and I do not think these things should be done by one person. I think that, you know, if you have a distribution team and you have an editing team, they can manage a style guide, they can manage all of the graphics, they can manage their own, you know, copy edit processes that they can teach each other with, gather around that type of issue. And as you do that, that's why we have specialized teams for these things, rather than just having working groups kind of who may or may not understand the style guide or how to follow it, and all these other subjects. And so, you know, because we have limited access to, for example, the Twitter. I think maybe 2 people have access to our TEC Twitter account, and Ivy, I don't think, has even full access to our Twitter account at the moment. And so it's just to expect, you know, people to just volunteer to through these processes. I'd rather see, you know, having teams that are educating each other and educating, you know, a larger group of people. And once you have that type of role, or granted that type of role, you have some sense of ownership over that type of task. And we have trust built within the system.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, again, this process is going to change, and like we're figuring out that we need to actually figure out more stuff on the distribution side. The main takeaway we can take from this meeting right now is that please start using it. So check it out, ask questions. If you need stuff written, just like drop it in there and we'll figure it out.
So my feedback is that it's like a lot of thought has clearly gone into it. I think it's definitely inspirational to you for how we can structure our the workflow. But I'll agree with what Marco is saying, which is until we actually start using it and be able to feel how it works, like what's maybe a little bit what's causing more friction than it should, right? There may be some things that we find are delaying, are slowing things down. And the idea is to maintain high quality, to have a high functioning, but not necessarily just to introduce process that might slow down what we want to achieve, unless it has a real reason to slow things down, unless things need to be slowed down. So I would say for, you know, some ideas that come to mind right away is, you know, a lot of these teams right now, one person might be on all the teams, you know, a few of us might be on all the teams actually. And as we have contributors coming in and out, they might be the team. So there's a little bit of like feeling like, it's maybe a little over engineered because there was a lot of thought going into it. We haven't started using it yet, and we're peeling some things away, adding other things as we start using it. And I suggest maybe what we do starting to use it now, like let's jump in, is moving some of the content from the coordination board. So it's the things that are in the comms working group. We have a bunch of stuff in there. Let's move them over to this new distribution repository and see how it feels when we're actually repository, rather than waiting for new things to come in, which, you know, trickle in as they do. Maybe we take the backlog and move it into content distribution. Yeah, those are my 2 feedbacks. I really think it's like as we use it, we'll feel what works and what doesn't, and then we can adapt in agile fashion from there.
Yeah, I think that sounds really great. And I mean, if you guys are okay with that, anyone else has any objections, like we can just move the stuff right away from the coordination Zen hub into this new one and then start using it. And as we discover things, we'll make changes or adjust.
I just want to say one thing. I think we definitely need to think about what it is that we're going to be starting with. Like, I would say the way Twitter's working right now is actually very successful. Like, let's not touch Twitter until let's work on content pieces, forum pieces, other kinds of content distribution. And then once we have that, like a smooth machine, bring in Twitter. But maybe we can just put Twitter aside because it is actually really, really well right now until we get this content distribution system really, really smooth.
That was actually one of the feedback that we got from Ivy, was that she wasn't sure what to do with the Twitter things, like who to go back to get stuff edited on. And so that was actually part of the discussion. But if we're finding out that it works well, but I'm hearing different things from the people that are actually doing the distribution.
Oh, I was talking with her this morning because she was confused by the meeting yesterday. So maybe it's just figure out what it is, right?
Okay.
But she was confused about like how this new process would work, and she's been drafting the tweets, and they've been really quite well, you know. So people, the process right now is people suggest an idea, she drafts it, reviews it, and then sends it. And the important part here is that there's no delay, right? It's like the tweet submitted, the next day it gets sent. There's no, okay, now we have to pass it from here, and Mitch has to, somebody else picks it up, and then we move it, and like 5 days later, the tweet gets sent. So I'm interested in maintaining the processes that are working well now, and maybe like addressing that later. But let's definitely loop IB back into that, actually.
Okay. Cool. Good.
Thanks a lot, Mitch, for the update. Nate as well. Tam for the comments. Everything on the C&D process. I think it's great, and we just need to move forward and start actually using it, and iterate on the go, and build it on the go until we get to a point where it just flows naturally and everything is set up. I think it's going to be work in progress. It's not something we will do over the weekend. And feel free to please do engage, comment, whatever, add suggestions for improvements, tell us whatever wrong is so we can fix it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you all for joining our comms call, and yeah, whatever needs to be discussed furthermore, we're gonna chat about it this week. Until next time.